I'm in my zone, on the road to the Super Bowl. Every game on the schedule crucial, it take a toll. It don't matter if we at home or on the road. You try to tackle, I'll truck a sucker and take it soul. I'm staring at 4th and goal, gotta find an open hole. A linebacker just close a hole where I'm supposed to go. So now I'm thinking my centers are all pro, so I trust he can make a walk for wherever the ball go. Tap the cue on the shoulder, that safety is coming over. I see that look in his eyes. If he slip, I'ma slide right under the tight end, curl over the right end. Long as the wide receiver block for me, I can jump right in. Yeah, there's 5 seconds on the play clock. The crowd was loud, but they stopped. Now it's silent while they watch. The standoff in the red zone. All I see is red home. Watch me get this touchdown and this W and head home.
Welcome in, Cowboys Nation, to week 4 of Cowboy Game Day live from Kanvas Sports and Social. Skywalker still. Jesse Holley, you ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's get it, man. Look, we don't got to bounce back from nothing. We always going to bring it. We always do bring it. We don't lose on game day. The Cowboys got to bounce back, bro. Cowboys got to bounce back, and they're going up against a team they've repeatedly I can't catch myself. They've repeatedly whooped on.
Yep.
For the last number of years. I want 6 straight, I believe. Dak hasn't lost to him since 2016.
12 straight for Dak.
12 straight for Dak. But I do wonder, things are a little bit different now. I said this during my show this week, or at least I put it in one of my thumbnails. There's a different element added to this rivalry now, and the Cowboys better be prepared for it. But at the end of the day, this is one of those situations where doesn't matter how you do it, they got to get it done, Jesse, because you can't go on a 3-game slide.
No, absolutely. And the Giants, we used to call opponents like the Giants, we used to call them subscription games.
Medicine games.
Prescription games. The get-right games. The medicine. We used to call them the Walgreens games, the CVS games, because when those teams came to town or we went to those teams, it was whatever we were ailing, whether it was offensively or defensively, we were able to get right versus those football teams.
Right.
The Cowboys are in such despair right now that this game doesn't have the same feel that it's had in a very long time.
That's real.
You used to look at this game and say, oh, we're playing the Giants. Oh, who's about to get off? How much we're about to win by? And now there is doubt, there is question, there is hesitation, there is pause about what is actually going to happen in this football game. You don't know, is the offense going to be able to find some sort of rhythm? Is the defense actually going to be able to stop somebody? Your fear is, are we going to get embarrassed again? That has been the nature of what the Cowboys football team has been, at least for the last 2 weeks of this season. Is embarrassment, is being bullied, being just whooped on and embarrassed. And what
right.
used to be an easy game to go up against, you used to think about like, oh, Daniel Jones, we about to eat. And now you're like, we don't know what's going to actually happen in this game.
But the doubt, I think, is rightfully so.
Yes.
You know, like, you used to be able to say it with your chest when you went up against this New York Giants team. By the way, you had the same record. Okay?
Yep.
1-2.
Beat the same team.
Beat the same team.
Right.
Their defense is playing better than you. So they can go into this game for the first time in a long time like, wait a minute, we might actually be catching these dudes at the right time to end this skid. Now, a lot of these, or a good chunk of these players haven't been a part of this 6-game losing streak, but a lot of them have.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they're tired of losing. Dayball has lost to the Cowboys, 4 straight. This is his third season.
Yep.
So all 4 matchups he's lost. Probably tired of that shit, right? And for all these years against this team, I've said it with my chest. For the first time in a while, I'm like, I think we can beat the Giants. We're going to beat the Giants. We'll be all right. Everything will be all right. We're going to beat the Giants. I'm just keeping it a bean, man. Look, and it's your fault. Ain't me.
Yeah.
And I'm not. There's nothing wrong with my fandom as a fan. Now, as an analyst, we'll break it down, what they do right, what they do wrong, but as a fan, I'm not saying anything with my chest until they give me a reason to do so. That's all I'm saying.
No, because when you, like, y'all got y'all chest caved in and messed around and got my chest caved in. and so now I don't feel confident coming out and saying anything of the sort with confidence because of what's been on display in the last few football games.
It's the how, Jesse. If you I get it, they came back against the Ravens, so maybe there's a little bit of silver lining there. But you were getting embarrassed. 250 yards on the ground. You got embarrassed against the Saints. If it wasn't like that, it was just some fluky wins, last-second field goals, some crazy weird play. Different story, man. But it's been the how, and as Cowboys Nation, the doubt I think is certified.
Yes.
I mean, I get why it's there, and they have a chance tonight to kind of at least dent it a little bit, because it still is the Giants at the end of the day. No one really expects the Giants to be a Super Bowl contender or a good team or anything like that. I'm not throwing no cookouts if they get a victory or nothing like that, but at the end of the day, you can't go 1-3. You can't go 0-2 in the conference or 0-1 in the division. You have to get the 2-2. Party be damned, whether you're excited they win or not, they have to win this game today.
The noise would be so loud if they lose this football game.
I think a thread would be pulled. The house of cards will fall down in that locker room, and somebody's head's going to roll.
And rightfully so, though. And that's the thing is, winning tonight in any shape or fashion is necessary for the foundation of this football team.
Yep.
Like, I don't care if it's by 1 point, by a Brandon Aubrey field goal, which probably will happen. Like, and I wouldn't be mad if it did. But there needs to be some sort of momentum created where you can at least hold the noise off momentarily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for momentarily, because I don't think that you can have another week where a team
dominates
just punch you in the face.
Yeah, mushes your face in.
Like, I don't think that's for the fan base, for the organization, and damn sure for not that locker room.
I was just about to say, that
locker room's teetering.
Feeling it, bro.
That locker room is teetering on.
You're feeling it.
Like, you're starting to hear, like, guys are talking about, like, you know, we
Hero
can't
ball
hero ball. In a minute, it's going to be like him.
Yep.
Him.
Yep.
Him. It's going to start being that. And once that happens, and I said this last week, and I said it all week on my shows.
Well, it's a wrap.
When
it's Wade Phillips.
The message, it's Wade Phillips. When the message goes dead, because we've heard details. We told, guys got to do their job. What's ended up, because that's why I blame some of the coaching, right? I know that it's player run, but you're either allowing it or you're coaching it, right? Because if I have a scheme or a plan and it's not being executed, that means what I'm saying to those guys, they don't give a damn.
Right.
They don't care to listen to my message anymore. It's falling on deaf ears. And once you lose the ears and the hearts of the locker room, you dead man walking. They got to pack you up.
McCarthy said something at his press. I don't know if you caught this. I think it was right after the game. He came out and was like, hey, man, we played like we prepared.
Yes.
And we weren't prepared.
And Dak reiterated it.
And to me, I'm like, you as a coach, I would never admit that, number one, ever. That's a fireable offense.
That's on you, my boy.
So it's already kind of starting. You can't let it snowball. So that's why getting a victory today is huge. You already feel the coach. Oh, that's dramatic, Nick. Yeah. You see it happening with the players. Superman, some hero ball, and him, or not him, but we. You feel it. You feel it.
You see the locker room. You see the sideline spats that are happening out there.
You don't want this thing to break.
Tensions are very, very high, and it's teetering on implosion.
And some people actually would like that, but me personally, I don't. I don't want to see that. So,
an implosion 4 weeks into the season is bad. That's bad. Like, that is an implosion 4 weeks in is
somebody's
crazy.
Getting fired.
100%.
That's just what's going to happen or should happen. And no, we're not talking about Jerry because that'll never happen. Just saying.
I'm not getting into this. I'm not doing this.
Let's talk about who will be playing today, trying to avoid this 3-game skid for the Cowboys. They called up Carl Lawson again for the second time, so he's got one more, and then he's going to have to be signed to the active roster. Somebody will have to be cut or put on IR or whatever. And they'll be calling up cornerback Amani Aware, I believe is how you say it. If I'm saying it correctly, apologize to the Aware family, Amani family. At least you're not Noah Igbenogany.
Inactive.
See,
he's playing in Washington today. He's playing in Washington.
Starting.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
they got the worst defense.
Yeah.
Whoa. They got competition for the worst defense in the division.
Have some respect. Because they're like, hey, watch your mouth.
The second worst defense, dude. The second worst defense. Y'all got the worst defense. Yeah, hopefully the Cowboys will play like that. But so Amani will be called up, and that's because Kalen Carson dealing with, I believe, a bruised shoulder.
Yeah.
And Marquise
So what happens
Bell.
when you get stiffed arm to the earth?
I think it might happen in the play. I'm gonna be honest. Because when I went back and watched it 3 times. Because first of all, it's just funny. But I was like, I wonder if it fell on it a certain way, and that's what caused it. Because I don't know what.
But what made me laugh, because he wasn't tackling anybody, so you wasn't going to tackle. It wasn't going to tackle. What made it even more funny, remember we talked off air, and I said to you,
said it was coming.
I said, brother, we are about a couple plays.
That's coming.
Because like the way they were running, I was like, he's getting ready to break one, and he tried on Micah.
He tried. Micah said,
that's not happening.
Not
You're not putting me on your highlight reel.
No.
And I said to you off air, I said, we are a few plays away from one of those Sports Center stiff arms happening. And maybe a series later, here it came.
Yeah.
And
Carson,
he came in there like, mama. And he said, I am not your father. Get off me, little boy.
You heard what Maury said.
Yeah, not your daddy.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Bell's
out. He doesn't play a lot on defense, but plays teams. So they'll have to do something there. Maybe it's Amani Orare. Ryan Flournoy, John Stevens Jr., Tyrus Wheat, and Trey Lance round out the inactives for the Cowboys. So no other surprises there. Although John Stevens Jr. did practice all week.
Yep.
It's kind of hoping he get called up, especially because I don't think they're getting much out of the tight end position opposite of Jake Ferguson. Now, when Jake was out, you had Schoonmaker step up in his absence and what they were asking him to do. But other than that, I would have liked to see Stevens. Hopefully we'll see him here shortly. But here's what's interesting on the other side of the ball for the Giants. They're going to have some cornerbacks out as well, number one. Some of their better cornerbacks on the team, so we'll get to that. But they're calling up a fullback.
Yeah.
What does that tell you, Jesse?
I'm going to take my glasses off. They're running the football.
That's crazy to me.
They're running the football a lot. They want to make sure if you're a smart coach, if you're a halfway smart coach, if you're on the spectrum type coach, there's no way that you could turn on the last 2 weeks of film and say to yourself, boy, this is a passing game.
Yeah, we're going to throw the rock.
There's no way. You're saying to yourself, boy, I see 13 personnel in my future. I see 12 personnel in my future. I see 21 personnel in my future. I see 22 personnel in my future. We are going to do what the last 2 teams. And Devin Singletary he's not Henry, he's not Kamara.
He's capable.
But he's a good back.
Yeah,
he's a capable good back. They're going to run the football. They want as much beef in that lineup to go out there and say, we see what the other guys did to you, and you done nothing to fix it.
And here's the thing with Devin Singletary. Like you say, he's not those other guys, but guess what? He's second in the league in forced missed tackles.
Yeah.
He's shifty. And if you don't wrap up with which the Cowboys have had trouble doing the last 2 weeks, he'll break off for a long run. He's not going to be fast. He's not going to break a 70-yard touch, maybe, but he'll make you miss and get those important extra yards to make it 2nd and 2 now. 3rd and 1, first down. Right now, maybe you don't get the 3rd down. So I said this last week about bringing your hard hat because of how the Ravens play. The Ravens play hat on hat. We're going to pull our big guys. We're going to bring our 302-pound fullback, and you better be ready to put your hard hats on. Where that's not necessarily the Giants, but the Giants are like, oh wait, at the end of the day, this is just football. If all I got to do is put a hat on a hat, those offensive linemen, it don't matter how good they are. The Ravens' offensive line wasn't great.
Right.
They were suspect coming into the game. But they just said, you can't stop us from running. You aren't physical enough. So whoever it is, Carlos Watkins, who's the defensive tackle? Mozzie Smith in this game. Your boundary guys, your linebackers, like, y'all better be ready to bring your hard hats because when a team calls up that's disrespectful to me. In 2024, when they calling up a fullback, they saying they're announcing to you we're about to run right down your throat.
And the thing is, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone.
Yeah.
Like not on the Cowboys. Defensively, you know what you put on tape.
Yeah.
You know what's coming at you. And that's the part that I think is becoming very, very concerning, is that I'm not gonna say the blueprint is out, but
Yeah, because it's not that difficult.
like word is out.
Yeah.
Like word is out right now that you soft. Like, and this is not a personal attack on anyone. Word is out right now.
The defense is soft.
That you're soft in the middle. Like right now, like you Aaliyah, you work the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like change positions. Rock the boat.
All right, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, but that's word on the street.
Yeah.
Word on the street right now is that you cake in the middle, and there's nothing that you've done in the last 2 weeks to dispel that word. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
you're right.
So people are walking around like, oh, yeah, oh, I know who you are. I know what you about. So we're gonna keep tapping your pockets until you show us that you're no longer allowing us to. And bringing a fullback up is, to your point, lightweight disrespectful.
2024, you don't see nothing like that.
And it plays into the hands of what Brian Daboll wants to do anyway. I want to limit Lamar Jackson to the ball 15 times. Derek Carr to it 16 times. You don't think they want Daniel Jones throwing the ball?
There you go.
They want Daniel Jones right in that wheelhouse. I call him, but can't let Vanilla Vic get off. They're going to run a little read option.
So
got to stay home.
They will do that, but he's still recovering from that ACL. He doesn't look like he used to look.
Right.
But he still can get you 5 yards on the. You know what I'm saying? But what you have a chance, I think, to perform better than in the previous 2 games, just based off of how they run. Now they could, again, they're preparing. Maybe they just decided to run like the other 2 teams did. They do a lot of trapping. They do a lot of with the tight end and a lot of dressing, right? Pre-snap, post-snap type action. And this could be a game where an Osa Odighizuwa's quickness, you see him in the backfield. A DeMarcus Lawrence quickness, shooting the gap, BC gap, B gap, getting in the backfield. If they don't decide to play hat-on-hat ball because that's their offense. I have a hard time believing teams just going to change automatically who they are based off what they saw on film. So you have a chance to stop the run this week. If you can't stop these guys, then a change needs to be made, in my opinion, soon before you get on the plane. Because I don't think they run it the same way, if that makes sense.
No, I hear what you're saying, but again, I'm going to try to.
I'm going to try to,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to try to run the way those guys did. I call it whatever I'm going to call it, but I'm going to we call for this when it comes to the Cowboys offensively. We're like steal. Like stealing
we always say
like
that,
stealing is okay in the National Football League. We just the only ones that don't want to do it. Other teams go out there and you see players get run. You're like, oh, I saw that play 2 weeks ago that so-and-so ran. And teams go out there and they steal plays that they look like, oh, this works. This is successful. Let me try it. We don't. We just say, well, no, we don't. Stealing's bad. We're not going to do that. We're going to stick to the things that we're used to doing. But I don't see why Brian Daboll won't go, well, we'll just run what the Ravens ran.
Yeah, because it wasn't like it was
They
any trickery.
The Ravens didn't do a bunch of trickery.
No.
And then maybe we might splash in some of the window dressing eye candy.
But we do.
Like the Saints.
Or the Saints do, yeah.
Right? So it's like we could do a little bit of both. And then, ultimately, like I said before, I want to keep Daniel Jones in that 15 to 20 passing attempts in this game. Because once you try to now, if we get the running game going, now you got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. And then now I can just start picking and choosing what I want to start throwing into this young star receiver on the outside.
Yeah, and you actually want him to do so, but you want him to do so on your terms.
Yes.
Right? And it's going to happen. Daniel Jones spams Malik Neighbors, rightfully so.
I would too.
Because he's a beast, right? It's important and it's vital to get them into third in your favorable situations or second in your favorable situations so that Zimmer can do what he's really here to do, and that's present his blitz packages, his pressure simulations, moving his safeties around, blitzing the corner, quarter, half. Like, he has a ton of really cool packages in that way. He can't show them when you throw the ball 15 times. Okay? And 7 of them are off of play action out of 13 to 12 personnel bootlegs.
Yeah.
You can't get to them. That's why you look so compromised in 15 attempts, and teams can throw for 275 yards on 12 completions.
Yep.
Because they're getting big chunk plays off of play action, play action, bootleg, dump it off 30 yards to a tight end.
Cole's a Kohler?
Dude, who don't even get, you don't get tipped like that.
It wasn't Andrews. It wasn't likely. It was Kohler.
Nelson Aguilar getting a 60-something. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything. You can't get.
Remember the guy was like, yeah, I caught them like Nelson Aguilar.
That's why I said it.
Aguilar.
Like, he dropping the ball, of course, right? But you have to stop these guys from attempting to run the ball and put that thing in Daniel Jones's hands. Because if you put it in Daniel Jones' hands and Zimmer's able to get to where he gets to, I tell you right now, he gonna give you 2 of them.
I said this to somebody. I said, I don't have to watch this game. I don't have to watch a single snap of this game. And when the game is over, I can go to you and I'm going to ask you for one stat. I'm going to ask you for one stat, and that's going to tell me who won this football game.
What's that?
I'm going to want to go, how many attempts did Daniel Jones have to on the football?
That's facts.
If you tell me that Daniel Jones had 25, 30, 35 attempts throwing the football,
we win the game.
Cowboys won that game. But if you tell me just one stat, I don't have to watch not one down.
That's a good point.
If you said, hey, Daniel Jones has 17 pass attempts, the Giants won.
Or he got hurt.
Oh, he got,
1 and 2.
Like, if he didn't leave the game early, the Giants won.
Yeah.
If he threw the ball 17 times, Giants won. That's the only stat that I need. I don't need any other stats at all.
And if he throw the ball 17 times, I promise you, 14 of them is going to this man right here, Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors has already got off to a historical start. I believe he's the only rookie or the first rookie in NFL history to have 20-plus receptions, 250 yards, and 3 touchdowns in his first 3 starts. Mm-hmm. Jesse, you know how many targets he's had the last 2 weeks? A lot. 30.
Yeah.
30 targets. So this is their offense. I'm telling you what to do. Spam Malik. Run into Devin Singletary. Nobody else has more than 7 carries outside of Devin Singletary in the running back position. And Wan'Dale Robinson, he'll get a little catch here and there. Like, that's their second leading receiver is Wan'Dale Robinson. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to do anything crazy. And right now, Trayvon Diggs, last couple weeks, been struggling a bit. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's going to be Andrew Booth out there. I don't want to see Andrew Booth on Malik Neighbors. I know that Zim is not a follow guy, but if there was a game to do a little bit more shadowing, it would be, for me, Trayvon Diggs trying to shadow Malik Neighbors.
It's insane that when you say, here's what the Giants do, run it to Devin Singletary, spam it to Malik Neighbors, and sprinkle it into Wan'Dale Robinson. And for you to say that, and then in my mind it goes, that might be enough to beat the Cowboys. Right? Like, that's it. That. Normally, you would say that, and we would go, got him.
Yeah, that's enough.
It's a dub.
Yeah.
But now, like, the way in how the way that they've been performing, you go, that might be enough. Like, that might be enough right there. If they're running the football and they're in 3rd and 3 a lot of times, now you put Wendell in the slot a little bit, give him some boom, first down. And then Malik Neighbors, who is one of those gifted guys who can take a 5-yard slant, a 10-yard play, and turn it into a big play, make plays down the field, all those type of things. Like, that's enough. It's insane to even say it out of my mouth, but that is to defeat this current Cowboys defense, running the ball, throwing it to your best receiver, and sprinkling in your slot guy. That's what all the other teams have been doing successfully.
Yeah.
It hasn't been this thing where a bunch of guys are getting all these. It's been running the ball, throwing it when they kind of had to or when they wanted to, or sometimes they play action, and just beating you that way.
But that's why I present the offer to move Trayvon Diggs there, because when I watch them, it honestly it really is Malik Neighbors. It runs through him. Mm-hmm. It runs through Malik. Yes, Devin Singletary, second in the league in forced missed tackles. Had a good game, I believe, last game running the ball, 43-yarder to end it against the Browns. But he doesn't strike the same fear. What you're fearful of is how you've been playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your run defense is the fearful part of it. No disrespect to Devin. I think he's very capable back, like I said. But it's not Derek. It's not Lamar.
Right.
It's not Alvin Kamara.
But your defense right now,
that's
when you look at the numbers,
the
defense is giving up 185.7 yards per game.
And what?
In rushing.
Oh, let me just make it worse. 230 plus yards in the last 2 games.
So that's what I'm saying. So like even not being those guys, there's a Devin Singletary might get a 150 at this point in time. You're giving up 5.4 yards per carry. That's a first down every 2 carries. When you look at the rush matrix, the way that they break it down in next gen is on 1st and 10. This is what they consider a successful run on first down. If you get 4 yards, that's considered a successful run.
40%
of the total yardage due.
Right.
And then on 2nd down, if you get half of that, so you're 2nd and 6. If you get 3 yards out of that, that's considered a successful run. And then of course you get the 3rd down, it's 3rd and 3, and you're supposed to be able to convert on there. The Cowboys are giving up 5.4 yards per rush on first down. And this is the part where you look like that's where the dejection comes from, is because, a defense, you see it all the time. You either see a seatbelt or I want to see this, right? Getting off the field on 4th down, right? That is the goal. To get to 4th down, get off the field. Well, you're giving up a first down in 2 plays by running the football.
And don't let them, the way your red zone defense is playing, don't get down there because you've been the worst red zone defense in the National Football League. So the real gut check game for this defense, and I could care less if they were playing a high school team on the other side. I need to see them respond. I need to see them shut the run down so you can get into what you do best.
Can I ask you this? What, in your eyes, in your perspective, and I truly do trust your eye and trust your judgment, what does that look like for you?
Like a successful defensive day?
Yeah, like what does that look like for you in what you've seen so far in the Cowboys, what they have to present to you right now? What does that look like in the sense of a successful day?
Week 1. Like if your defense plays the way it played in week 1, that's a successful day to me. And you're going up against a very similar situation. If you really break it down, the problem is week 1 you didn't have 2 games of terrible games coming off, going into it. But week 1 you were going up against, in my opinion, a bad quarterback. Yep. I said it a bunch of times. I don't believe in Deshaun Watson. I don't think he can throw the ball that great, and a compromised offensive line. Week 4, I don't think Daniel Jones is good. Sorry, I don't. I think he can make the throws. I don't think he's all the way there as a smart quarterback. He throws YOLO balls. He gets you in trouble. I don't think he's that good. But he's capable. He can beat you like any other quarterback, right? This offensive line, it's better than it's been in years past, for sure. But I feel like you can get the better of them if you can get them in that situation. Jerome Ford, very similar to me to Devin Singletary. Okay. Not these dynamic backs, but obviously we've seen Jerome Ford have success in their scheme at one point, and we've obviously seen Devin Singletary have success, but not backs that are going to really, damage you going in. You're not scared of these dudes.
Right.
And then running schemes that I'm watching them, it doesn't scare me. Again, what scares me is us.
Right.
Is how the Cowboys are playing going into it. So there are a lot of similarities. They had Amari Cooper. You got Malik Neighbors. They have David Njoku. I guess their second guy would be Wan'Dale Robinson or whatever, right? So you could actually argue there might be a little bit more on that side of the ball compared to the Giants. You're on the road. You're on the road. Mm-hmm. Very similar situations, and you were able to have a successful game.
6-sack day, right?
6-sack day, a bunch of pressures, and a lot of it, honestly, was your offense helping you out by getting up, and then you were good enough against the ground game early. You got up, which that's going to be key. We'll talk about that. And you made them throw the ball. Mm-hmm. So a successful day looks like week 1. But why did week 1 look like week 1, Jesse? Because you were able to get the 3rd and longs. You were able to get to situations where Zimmer and the secondary and pass rush can shine. And when I say pass rush, I don't just mean like the bunch of defensive ends that's getting after it. It was the packages. Right. It was the simulated pressures. It was the blitzes coming from here and there. That's what Zim does best. So that's what a good day will look like. But there needs to be a middle ground too, right? You're not going to be dominant all day. Sometimes it's not going to work out. But I need my defense to respond a lot sooner than the 4th damn quarter.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they go out and score a touchdown or 2, respond, right? Get some stops. And then, as we talk about the other side of the ball, you need to wake the hell up too. The offense needs to wake up. We've been talking about this for weeks, but the offense needs to wake up. But that's what the defensive side of the ball looks like for me for a good day.
And I agree with you. Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And, one of the things that you've seen the Cowboys talk about, and shout out one of my favorite players on the Cowboys, Jordan Lewis, right? I think he's a tough, gritty little dude, Detroit-minded. And he was very deliberate about when he spoke this week, talked about details.
Yep.
Details. I legitimately think he used the word details 15 times.
I thought it was somebody thought it said 30.
Maybe. So all his answers talked about details.
And he said it's been this way for a while.
And that's the part that's concerning.
Right.
That it's been this way for a while. Now, does this while mean this is a carryover from last year, or this is a carryover
He's been here since 2018, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so is it
17,
is he talking training camp? Is he talking a lot of years? Like when you say a while, that just means that there has been a lack of attention to detail from this side of the football. And I think sometimes they've been able to athletically overcome that.
Yeah.
Because we'll talk about it. Your offense being able to get up, and teams now have to kind of play
out being better than
right.
Yeah.
But that was so that resonated in my brain, and it stayed in my brain for all week. Just hearing that, like, man, a detail, because to me that was supposed to be the thing that Zim was supposed to come in and fix. People felt like under Dan Quinn, the Cowboys were a little bit too willy-nilly, a little bit too YOLO, that Dan Quinn was a little bit too player-friendly, allowed players to kind of do their own thing a little bit too much, and that that Mike Zim was supposed to come in
Zim was supposed to
tighten that up. And then now you hear Jordan Lewis say, oh, we've been that way for a while. Like, that's the concerning part to me, is if the guy who was brought in here to change that hasn't been able to change that, when will it ever change?
Then now we're talking about a bigger picture that goes beyond that guy that's in charge.
And what I don't want this game is, or I think sometimes you can see from a team like this, with the cast of characters that they have, overcorrection. Because it's one thing to know, like, all right, we have to correct our mistakes. But you hear everyone talking about, hey, what's going on, brother? You hear everybody talking about, like, oh, well, we don't need to play hero ball and him and him and him and him. And now I don't want guys to be like, all right, watch this. I'm holding my gap, but the guy ran right by you. That ain't my responsibility. I'm over here. You told me, y'all told me all week long to do my job. My job is to do
then
this.
Your locker room's broke.
Right.
If your locker room's broken.
But
before we even get going.
We're close to that, no?
No, I think we are.
When you hear the way Micah talked and Tank talked and Diggs talked and Jordan Lewis talked, like, and maybe I'm wrong, and I hope that I'm wrong, but sometimes I feel like there's going to be an overcorrection of, oh, all right, so y'all want to say that I wasn't doing my job? Cool, watch this.
I would hope as football players your football instincts kick in.
I would hope so too.
The overcorrection I thought you were going to go to was coaching. Like I thought you were going to say you hope the coaches don't overcorrect and now, oh, you know what, we're going to put 9 men in the box now and things like that.
No, I think these coaches are so stubborn.
That's
in
what
their
I was going
way.
to say. I think they're stubborn.
They're stubborn in their way. They're not going to change what they do. They're going to just stick to what they do, and they're going to keep saying they got to execute. I think players wise, it's like, okay, they could be a little bit petty. And go like, well, you know what's not going to happen this week on film? No one's going to be able to call me out, no matter what. And I'm like, I hope that's not the case. I'd rather have players and playmakers than robots. I don't want robots.
Fair enough. So you know what I hope? I hope I hit on my Underdog Fantasy pick'em this week because I got a big boy going today, bro. I got a 30 of what's it called? I can win up to 30 times my money I put in, Jesse.
Ooh, lunch money, here we come.
30 times my money. Join me and 1 million plus other users on Underdog Fantasy Sports, where you can use your projections to win real cash in the #1 fantasy sports platform, Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use the code ATOZDALLAS. We'll put the link in the description so you guys can click on that and get a deposit match up to $1,000. Pick them, watch them, and win them. And today, I got one that could get us a lot of money, man. So I did this one today to I want to win. Sometimes I'll pick it up. Let me challenge myself. I want to win. Let me start off with the 2 I think are easy. Okay, Dak Prescott higher or lower 3.5 rushing attempts on the season. He has not had more than 2. So I'm like, all right, he's not going to rush 4 times in this game. The weather doesn't look like it's raining out there. I don't see it, so I pick lower. I think that's an easy one.
Do you?
Yeah, I think it's easy.
Okay.
If he wasn't running around when his ass was getting pressured against the Ravens and against the Saints, he ain't going to do it in this game. So, I think lower.
Okay.
He's only had 2 rushing attempts as a high so far.
Okay.
So that's why I say, and we don't run deliberately with him.
Right.
So I got lower. I think I got that one. Daniel Jones, higher or lower 4.5 rushing yards in the first quarter. The second play of the game is going to be a read option. Daniel Jones is going to run around for 7 yards. Easy money. Easy money, right?
Yeah.
He's getting more than 4.5 yards.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
In the first quarter.
The first quarter, I agree.
They called up a fullback, bro.
Yeah.
Quarterback power.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, 7 yards, easy money. We get it.
Student body right. Yeah,
Let's
I got
do
you.
it. This is a tough one, though. So Hunter Lipke last week caught this deep over route, and then he caught a
corner route.
Yeah,
He routed Kyle Hamilton.
Get off.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton reaching, right? For his shoes. Tie your shoes, young man. And then he caught another pass where you see, hold on, let me show y'all what Hunter Lipke did. Hunter Lipke caught this little pass and he hit come on now. He hit somebody with a I said, whoa, is that Peyton Hillis? That's Peyton Hillis. We got a Peyton Hillis. Hunter Lipke, y'all, I'm telling you, if we hit this together as a collective, you get almost 11 times your money off of that alone.
Wow.
And this is what it is. Higher or lower, a rushing touchdown or a receiving touchdown. That's it. That's all they got to do. But this is the toughest one, though, because Hunter Lipke don't get the ball that much. But I think what's going to happen, they saw Hunter Lipke get a little loose. He had a little wiggle in him. I think some of that Jake Ferguson rubbing off on him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Got a little sizzle to him. And they said, you know what, let's get Hunter Lipke the ball. We're going to get down there around the 10-yard line, 5-yard line, and y'all think it's going to Zeke. They getting ready to say, Zeke. No. It's going to be Hunter Lipke.
Okay.
Play action touchdown.
And that gets you 14 total. That totally gets you 14 times?
30.
30 times.
If all 3 of these things happen, you can win 30 times, 30.4 times your money, Jesse. I'm just saying, y'all got to ride with me on this one. This might be the most lucrative one we've done over the last couple seasons.
Mortgage might get paid today.
I'm just saying. Holla at me, man. But appreciate Underdog Fantasy for allowing me to get crazy. Jesse, I like to get crazy. if it wasn't for stipulations this year, this would be 7 or 8 every single time. Because they moved it up. It's not 5 no more. You can go up to 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I only could do 3.
Okay.
So appreciate you, Underdog Fantasy. Make sure y'all
Imagine an 8 with 30 times.
I ain't going to tell you what I did on Saturday.
Tell me off
I'll tell you off.
Tell me off there.
Just know, if the Tennessee Oklahoma game hit the way it was going to hit, I might not be here today. Where's Sky at? He in Bermuda somewhere. He in Tahiti. I don't know, but I might not be here.
He in Maldives.
Shouts out to you, Underdog Fantasy, for almost paying for my vacation. Let's flip it real quick before kickoff, because for me, and the reason why I didn't focus so much on this side of the ball is very simple. You win this game if you win the trenches. It's that simple to me, Jesse, bro. This defensive line for the Giants. Oh, that's not the one I want. This defensive line for the Giants is good. It's really good. They added Brian Burns to go with their first-round pick, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Dexter Lawrence is. I said this on my show, and people I think I saw in the chat were like, "What do you mean he's a household name?" I said Dexter Lawrence is the best defensive lineman in the National Football League. That's not a household name. Y'all gotta understand what household name means.
Right. Chris Jones is a household name.
Chris Jones, Nick Bosa.
Right.
But Dexter Lawrence is known within the football community, not outside of it and not to casual viewers, just keeping it being. He's not. That's just the facts of the matter because he plays for a team that doesn't go to the playoffs, right. That's not on prime time a whole lot, and people just aren't watching the Giants. Where you watching Chris Jones and the Chiefs in the playoffs all the time, you know who Nick Bosa is.
Right.
So that's not a disrespect to him. He is one of the best, and in my opinion, the best interior defensive lineman now in the league since Aaron Donald is gone. So that's going to be a big boy matchup between him and these guards. And I say these guards because, yes, Zach Martin, you're going to have some time with him. Cooper Beebe, rookie, you're going to have some time. Walk him. And Tyler Smith. And this Elijah Chapman kid is good as well. So it's simple to me, Jesse. You block these dudes up. They're compromising the secondary. CeeDee Lamb came out, apologized for his behavior, which we ain't got enough time to talk about that. I could go on a rant. I've already done it a few times. If they block it up, I feel like CD and whoever can go off on this secondary, fam.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. But we're going to say the same thing about this offensive line as we said about this defensive line.
Gotta see it.
If gotta see it. And if you don't know who Dexter Lawrence II is, tap in. He is a monster.
Yeah.
He is double team, one-on-one. You're not moving him.
No.
Oh, by the way, at 345 pounds, 3 sacks.
I mean, to keep it a bean, and I'm not saying he's not a run stuffer, he's a better pass rusher.
He is quick. He is physical.
Powerful.
He is
He'll
powerful.
walk your dude back to the lap of the quarterback.
Woo.
Fortunately for the Cowboys, their interior is the best part of their offensive line.
It's going to have to be today.
Yeah.
It's and what makes it here's why you have to be already good, but you have to be great. Is because they see weakness. Mm-hmm. And so Dexter Lawrence looked at that and
smell
goes,
the blood in the water.
I smell it. So I got a rookie, and now herein lies the problem of blocking it all up. Because you're going to have to commit more often than not 2 guys to Dexter Lawrence. So whether that's, centering one of the guards, right? Like you're going to have to do that, which means on any given play, there's going to be a one-on-one on the outside. There's going to be a one-on-one with Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns on either your first cousin, Terrence Steele, or Tyler Guyton.
Yeah.
And so that in lies where the problem comes. Now, the Cowboys have to find a way, I think, quick passing game. And I do think the Cowboys have to come out with more pace this game.
Yeah,
Got to come out with more pace.
First 15 is so vital. And why do we come out without urgency?
I don't know. That part I do not know. You're going to have to screen them. You're going to have to do something because these guys, they're seeing what they see. And so they're licking their chops and saying, we can actually, Tyler Guyton is struggling. Terrence Steele is struggling. We can turn the corner on these dudes. And Dexter Lawrence is like, you know what? This is a good night for 2 more sacks to get me to 5. I want to have an all-pro type of night. Yeah. So for the Cowboys offensively, you're going to have to figure out ways that tempers their rush a little bit. Because while it's not Wink Martindale's type of blitzing,
they're aggressive.
They're going to blitz.
They're aggressive.
They're going to send Penix to safety. You're going to see the linebacker come. They're going to come off the edges. They're going to insert guys in there. Yeah. And so especially now when you're saying, and I believe this, that you're going to have to double team Dexter Lawrence. I just feel that way. You're going to have to send 2 guys. Not every time, but at most part, you're going to have to double team him. And now are the other guys able to pick up the one-on-ones to eliminate the leakage and allow Dak Prescott the ability to see the ball down the field, and then the routes that the Cowboys are running? We're back to the Kellen Moore mess, man. We're back to the Jason Garrett stuff, the verticals, the 15, 10 yard, 50-yard stop routes, or slants. Like we're back to that now, and teams are like, if that's what you want to do, then okay.
So let's get back to what you said about start, because the Cowboys, if you look at how they started the first 3 games, listen to this. Week 1, come out, very first play, holding.
Yep.
The second play, sack, drives over. Week 2, they come out, think and dunk their way down the field, holding. Backs them up, field goal. Week 3, holding on the kickoff, full start, punt. That's preparation to me. That's discipline to me. That falls on you, coach.
Yes.
Y'all can't come out like this 3 weeks in a row.
Yes, you're right.
What is going on here?
You're right.
So find what you guys do best, what you guys are most confident in, comfortable in, and get to it, damn it.
Right.
Get to it right now. Not
but
this
what
build.
is it? What is the comfortability that they have right now?
Right now, nothing. But just, again, adapt. Instead of waiting until week 6 to move CeeDee Lamb all over the place and get him involved, do it now. Why don't they do it now? They only targeted CeeDee Lamb 4 times out of motion. They target Malik Neighbors 4 times last week out of motion.
And here's what I fear, right? Because I think what you're saying is 1,000% correct. But here's what I fear. I fear.
Hey.
Here's what I fear.
Son.
I feel them looking at this situation and so many details that have to be cleaned up and so many things that have to be kind of straightened out offensively that they don't have enough time to now put in those certain things, right? and especially even in the short week.
That's wild because you had all off season.
No, I'm with you. But
You know what I'm saying?
but right now they like this. They like we doggy paddling trying to stay afloat.
Apologies, man. I'm not really trying to see where the game's at here because I think it's about to trying to see where the game's at here because I think it's about to start.
It's about to start.
And I want to make sure we got it. So that's why I didn't spend too much here because I do think at the end of the day, it's easier said than done.
Yes.
By the way, way easier said than done to block this front up. But if you block it up, they're compromised so much in the secondary. They do blitz a lot. Dak is still quality against the blitz. We know he can identify. He's great at doing it. Help him out with identifiers. Get him motion so he can see what's going on. Because when you guys do that, you play your best from a passing game department. But kickoff is about to happen here in any second.
Happened.
If it already happened.
Yes.
We will get with you guys.